Oh. Oh, excuse me. All right. I'm just a girl. I'm just a girl. Let me write down my dying wish real quick. I have Discord. Wow, my gosh.
Yeah.
Who's all doing their stuff?
How dare you touch the doctor! It screams are so erotic. Yeah. I am a doctor, but I probably cause more injuries than I've treated.
Yeah, no, not happening.
Long shot quest. We could pack our bags tomorrow, leave all of our sorrows, see where all this road goes, maybe San Diego.
I haven't listened to Half an Orange in so long. Go. Oh.
Roll down all our windows, just see where the wind blows.
Hey.
Got the windows sit like a flamenco. Sit like a flamenco. You can run, you can hide, you can look and try to find. Take a breath, open your mind, take it one ride at a time. Take it one ride at a time.
The points don't get subtracted from the whatever.
Where did all our time go? Where we are, no one knows. Maybe San Francisco. Maybe
I about 6 or 7 actually more rounds.
roll down all our windows, just see where the wind blows. One leg out the window, sit like a flamenco. Sit like a flamenco. You can run and you can hide, you can look and try to find. Take a breath, open your mind, take it one day at a time. You can run and you can hide, you can look and try to find. Take a breath, it'll all be fine. Take it one ride at a time. Take it one ride at a time.
I wonder if a reason why the game crashed, now that I'm thinking about it, is if it was attempting to load an asset for too long. And that being the trebuchet. And it just couldn't. Like, it attempted to load it so many times, and then it failed, and the game crashed. Oh, it's the remix. I used to love this song so much. I hate myself. I don't know why I grabbed that. Oh.
I'm that hurricane turning, feeling like a polar bear burning. What are we gonna do? I'm that fake smile gleaming. Yeah, I'm the lie that you choose to believe in. Guess the truth kind of.
That's one zombie. Oh no, it's not.
And I'm enjoying the view. Well, I've been a loving lover. I've been a trusting brother. Well, I've been a loving lover. I've been a trusting brother. I'm taking my time to recover and picking it up when I'm better. Oh, there's so much to see in a lifetime. So why does it feel like it flies by? She's staring me down with the bright eyes. Don't threaten me with a good time.
Alright. I'm taking my time to recover and picking it up when I'm better. Oh, there's so much to see in a lifetime. So why does it feel like it flies by? She's staring me down with the bright eyes. Don't threaten me with a good time. Oh, it is a dog round. Okay.
I've been learning how to love again. It's like a rush of blood straight to my head. I've been learning how to love again. I can feel it crawling under my skin. Just don't know why.
Oh, my back.
Me all this time. Mending all these one.
The beginning of this song's so good.
I don't mind, cause this is something that I have to find. After all this time, I'll be okay. Cause when the skies turn black and the floor beneath you starts to crack, you know I'm coming back today.
Hello. Oh, oh, dog. Okay, nope, not even doing that. I'll take that. I'm not even dealing with those dogs. I'm not doing that in the slightest. Hold up. Alright. I am not dealing with those dogs. I don't have the snowballs for that. $5:33 a.m. Dang. Alright, there we go. While I'm here, I think I don't get a max this round, so I might as well go ahead and trade out a perk. We'll do it if I'm already here. I am officially just over 1% of the way done with this game. That would have been awful. Alright, there we go. That was quick. I am on pace to finish this game in 100 days right now. It's not going to happen. Yeah, I was at work, so I didn't get out until later. The goal is to maybe try to hit insta-kill rounds tomorrow. I'm thinking. If I don't hit them by tomorrow, I should definitely hit them by Sunday. Although if I want to stay on pace right now, I need to hit them tomorrow. I gotta make sure I get commands then set up by that point with the knife, because I close my door. Open, so I got a knife. Nice. Oh, there we go. That's nice. I was just thinking a little bit here. I wonder if a reason why I crashed in my previous game is... Like, I was looking at Wonderful's video, and he was talking about how the Trebuchet shotgun went invisible, almost as if the game was trying to offload as many assets as possible to like keep me in the game and prevent it from crashing. So I'm wondering if maybe the game attempted to over and over reload the asset of the shotgun actually being in my hand, since in my previous game it was invisible. I wonder if it was attempting to load it over and over again, and it just failed so many times that my game crashed. If that's a thing, that is testable. I could go test that out on PC. That'd be an interesting thing to try out. I don't think it is, because it didn't happen in Jake's game. But who knows? I don't know. Yeah, I'm kind of debating if I actually do hit 362 again like that, and I do get all the way up until, 435 hours into my game, I think I actually will turn on Pack-a-Punch again. Alright, cool. If I turn on Pack-a-Punch, I am going to, guaranteed though, finish that game within 10 days of turning on Pack-a-Punch. That's the thing. The moment I turn it on, I have to finish that game as soon as possible. That was not good. It'll be interesting to see how this game goes. I haven't heard this one in a while. 25-day limit? Yeah, and it's super nice. If it did, there's no way anyone would ever hit the error. You would have to play, I don't know, do 25 divided by 522. Or sorry, do 522 divided by 25. That's how many days you would have to, or hours per day you would have to play. There's no way it would happen. That would just, I don't think the human body could physically do that. I mean, actually, let's do the math real quick. Hold on. What is that? 522 divided by 25 is... You'd have to play for 21 hours a day, pretty much. I don't think the human body could physically do that. I don't think it's possible. I don't know if someone could realistically play for... Skip black screen. Thing is, oh yeah, in the older games you can. The black screen that happens in this game, you can't skip it. It's once that happens, it's game over. At least I think so. I don't know for sure technically, but who knows? We'll see. Hopefully this is the game. I've said that 1,000 times in all my other games. Yeah, black screen in that game comes back. This one, I don't think it does. I did a black screen test one time when I went on vacation. I let the game black screen. Came back about, I think, 23 days later with nothing. Waited like another week, still nothing. Oh my gosh. I should go to bed, but I want to play. There we go. Yay. The rounds take probably about 9 minutes apiece right now. They'll never get shorter. Ooh, look at that. Absolute cinema? I know, right? It's amazing. Now just imagine if you could have... You know what I would love? I would love if this game had an infinite snowball Easter egg where you could like have snowballs forever. That would be, I think, the most skillful thing in, I would argue, in all of not all of Zombies, at least, I mean, easily all of Black Ops 4. Because it would just be you and how many, like, the only reason you would ever have to get ammo is because you, like, screwed up your chaining. So it would be interesting to see if we had infinite snowballs, how rounds would progress, because the only thing stopping you from playing this round and playing the rounds out indefinitely is just your skill. You know, did you miss a snowball? Like I can chain all 10 right there, no issue. But that doesn't happen every single time. Chaining all 10 snowballs it's not the easiest thing in the world. The first 3 are the issue. You have a few zombies spawning like this here. Then you have to get a good luck there, and then there's another little burst here. And then they stop for a second again, and then they come. There's a delay that happens with the snowballs for some reason, like this here. So I was too lazy to sleep. I wish I didn't have to sleep. I was telling that to my mom earlier. I wish I didn't have to sleep. I would love to be able to have energy perpetually and just like stay up. That would be so nice. Like, I wish I still could sleep if I wanted to, but I wish I didn't. I didn't have to. That would be the best. Nice. I gotta start practicing to try and beat my highest no sleep score. Yeah, I can't do that. I struggle so badly if I'm up for like 20 hours at a time. I can't do it. I struggle. I just have to sleep. I'm not able to stay up super late. Oh wow. Ah, I missed him. Missing nuke, okay. It's like 8 days of no sleep during the summer break last year, or maybe 2 years ago. Oh, I can't. No way. I can't do that. I think the longest I've ever gone without sleeping is like 28 or 29 hours. We were on a vacation to Alaska. And so I woke up at like 8 a.m. that morning. We did stuff in Alaska all day. And then we were going home. Our flight was at like 11 p.m. like at night, or it was really late at night. But because we had traveled across like 3 time zones, when we landed, it was like 5 a.m., even though the flight was only like 2-3 hours. We skipped like 6 hours worth of time. Right, so where I live right now, it's 10:46 p.m., but in Alaska, it's only 7:46 p.m. for them right now. And so we did an entire flight. I think it was from like Alaska to like Michigan, or I don't know, something like that. I don't know. I don't remember. It was so weird though. For a few minutes and you feel less tired, I can't do that. I'll fall asleep. Like, even just, like, staying up, though, and existing takes energy for me. Like, I have to sleep every day. I can't go without sleep for a long time. Like, I could go to bed right now if I could easily go to bed and be fine and like it. What the heck? Where? Where did they come from? These dogs, man. These dogs. It is literally the dogs on this map. It is quite actually just the dogs. Nothing else on this map is bad except for the dogs. All right, increase the count. That's 2. Oh my gosh. It is only the dogs on this map that have issues. There's no reason for them to be like that. Hooray. Why are they here? They're on, I don't know. It's like just ever since, what is it, World at War. I hate boss spam. I consider dogs boss. I hate boss spam. That's actually why one of my favorite things is town. I love town in all those maps. For the simple fact that I'm only fighting the zombies in that map. I'm not fighting anything else except for the zombies. The only things that ever cause me to dying wish on this map are the actual dogs. Nothing else. Nothing else causes you issues except the dogs. That is why playing this map way later, the only reason that I ever lose a shield, anything, the only reason anything ever happens in this game is because of dogs. And I hate it so much. I hate it so much. That's why I'm ready for insta-kill rounds. And the most dangerous part of this game is literally, in my opinion, round 1 through 162. That is the most dangerous part of the game. That's the most, times that dogs are an issue. You only have, realistically, about 120 actual zombie rounds after that. Left in zombie rounds that can really be an issue. Rounds that you have to spend in this room while dogs spawn is the worst. And if you were to play normally, this wouldn't be an issue, but because of the sheer speed that this map plays at, there will almost always be a dog on the map. They will always be spawning. A dog spawns once every 20 zombie kills or something like that. Because of how fast I'm killing them here. I get maybe a dog spawn every 2 seconds. It sucks. It really sucks. Oh my gosh, thank you, game. That's why also, way later into the game, you'll see, on the 300s and 400s, for instance, there will be times where electric zombies will stop spawning completely. Electric zombies will stop spawning for 2 to 3 minutes at a time. And when that happens, no dogs spawn either. It's the most peaceful thing ever. It's the most peaceful thing ever. And it also actually signifies when you have made it a quarter of the way through the round, which is really weird for some reason. Once you make it about a quarter of the way through the round, once you're on 400 and on, you'll know you've made it a quarter of the way through the round when electric zombies stop spawning and dogs stop spawning for a few minutes. Once they start respawning, then okay, you're good. Then it'll happen again, and then it'll be end of the round. That's how you can really get a good idea of how much longer your rounds are. I got dying or ABH, so I should be fine. And also, the dogs can ruin your chaining here as well. Like, they'll just run through the right door, hit your frozen zombies, and absolutely ruin the chain. Shorts in hill short, because yes, nice. I mean, as we all do. Except me. I really like cold weather. It was on Christmas for us. It was actually like 70 degrees Fahrenheit, so... I roughly know the conversion between the two. I don't know it perfectly. Oh my gosh. That's a pusher. Hi, buddy. Like, I roughly know what the... You know, if it's like... If someone says, like, 30 degrees Celsius is getting pretty warm, teetering on hot... I think like 15 degrees Celsius is cool weather. That's like our 50s, I think. 50s, maybe high 40s for us. And then once it starts getting to like the single digits for you guys, that's when it's like, okay, that's getting close to 30 degrees Celsius. Celsius is like summer weather? Yeah. That's like hot. I assume 30 Celsius is... I think it is 80... Because I know the human body is, I think, 37 point... Isn't the human body, like, 37.5 degrees Celsius or something like that? I think it's really close to that, from what I remember. Equals 86? That's what I thought. That's what I thought. Yep. I think because, like, you know, for us, 96 or 98.6, I think is, or 96.8, I think is our body temperature. I don't know. Something like that. I think the human body temperature is like 37 degrees Celsius. So I know, like, generally when it gets to about 37, 38, that's when it's about 100 degrees. So I don't know the actual exact conversion for it, though. Thing is, though, I do know the conversion from Celsius to Kelvin. Take Celsius and add 276, I think, is what it is. 37.5? Okay, 37.5 then. Gotcha. All I know is that once it hits 40, it's like basically 0 through 40 for you guys. 0 through 40 is generally the temperature range that you might see at all. 270. Oh yeah, 273. Oh, is it that? Is it 273? Oh, okay. I was close. I was so close. We had to memorize that for my chemistry class. Yeah, 273.15 because I'd always have to round it up to 273.2 if we had like 4 sig figs or whatever. I don't know, something weird like that. Close enough, yeah. What is -10 Celsius in Fahrenheit? I would have to assume -10 Celsius is like 15 degrees Fahrenheit. Is 15 Fahrenheit, which is below freezing for us. Let me see here. -10 Cel. It's 14 degrees. Okay, yeah, okay. I was really close. It was 14 degrees. Okay. So I could do pretty realistically between like -10 to 40, and I could have a general idea of the temperature for you guys. Now, what I don't know, I am very bad when it comes to metric. Like, I understand, I think, like, 1 kilometer is 0.62 miles. 1 centimeter is, or 1 inch is 2.55 or 2.56 centimeters. It's pretty much the same thing. I know enough of that stuff. Like, 1 meter is about 39 inches. Just over a yardstick for us. So. And yes, we literally do measure things by football fields, you know. Like, oh, it's about a football field. 300 feet, 100 yards. It's actually disgusting? Yeah. Well, okay, here's it works for us though. Everything for us is base 12. You want to know how many feet? So 1 inch, you obviously know what I would assume, you know, 1 inch or 12 inches are in a foot, you know. Do you know how many feet are in a mile? Like, obviously there are 100 centimeters in a meter. Wait, am I stupid? 100 centimeters in a meter? Yeah, that's right. 100 centimeters in a meter and 1,000 meters in a kilometer. Yeah, I learned all that, you know, millimeters, like 1/1000th. I learned all that stuff. I was forced to, against my will, for class. So I like to think I know that stuff pretty well. However, do you, you're going to hate it when I tell you. So a mile, you know, is 5,280 feet for us. And it's like such an odd unit. Yeah, sure. Okay, 12 inches in a foot, sure. You know, 3 feet in a yard, sure. Why not? It's close enough. Base 12, you can get some good numbers at. Yeah, no, and then a mile is just 5,280. You can remember it by saying 5 tomatoes, 5280. It sounds similar, so. But, you know, it's so easy for me. I've known that my entire life, so it's super easy for me to memorize and all that stuff. I always see people like, oh, metric is better. Or imperial or whatever it is, standard, whatever, I don't know. Standard's better. And I'm just like, I don't care. Oh, yes! Wait, no, that was a headshot. I don't know actually yet. It's whatever. As long as you can convert between the two, I don't care what you use. As long as you have a general idea. If I go to Europe, you know, and I see 100 kilometers per hour on the highway, I have a general idea of how fast I should be going. That's about 62 miles per hour for us. So. Nautical mile is 1,000. I don't know the nautical mile. I know a light, I know the speed of light. It's about, around 300,000 meters per second, I thought. It's like 2.998, or like not 2 point something, I don't know, something like that. You know, the unimportant stuff. Or you can just say, okay, it's about 7.5 times around the Earth in 1 second. That's how fast light goes. So, some weird units of measurement. That was at 9 billion or 9 trillion? I don't know. The font's too small for me to read. Yeah. You always see people like, oh, this one's better, this one's better. I'm like, I don't care what you use. I think the one you use is, yeah, probably the one that you know is better for you. That's just how it is. I think you're never going to convince someone, I don't think, that a different unit of measurement is better. You're never going to convince them. That's just how it is. I can never be convinced metric is better the same way you can never be convinced that imperial is better. But, you know, it's important to know the difference between the two, I think. If you're in the US and you know metric, do about 60% less when it comes to your speed. If you're in the US and you're in the you know, somewhere where they use, I guess literally anywhere else in the world, add about 60% to your speed. And there you go. You're good. Like, it'll always be really weird to me, though, when people are, like, discussing height. Height, for me, is one of those things I still can't get down in my... I can't wrap my head around it. Like, someone could be like, you know, I say I'm 6 foot. Let's say I'm 6 foot. I'm not. I'm, like, 5'11", 5'10". And I know how high... I know how tall that is. Like, that's just... I know that. Now, someone says, oh, I'm, like, 1.6 meters. I'm, like... Oh my gosh, how much is that? I have to convert that in my head. I have to go, okay, like 1.5 meters is, what, 39 inches? What's half of 39? You know, oh, is it like about 19 and a half? So 39, 49, 50. You know, I have to do the math in my head. Then I have to go from inches and then divide that by 12. I don't have an understanding of what, you know, what 1.8 meters tall is. I can't visually think of that in my head. I can think of like normal, like, okay, I say normal. I can think of, you know, 5 foot, 4 foot in my head. Because that's what I'm around all the time. It's what I know. But I can't think in my head, meter-wise, how tall someone can be. It just don't... the dots don't connect. It's so weird. We're forced to learn certain funny definitions. Let me see here. Being a constant permeability being equal to 4 pi times 10 to the negative 7 h per m? Something... permeability. I don't know what the h stands for. I think the m is, you know, meters. It's base units. Henry per... What the heck is a... Okay. Respectfully, what on earth is a Henry? And why does that sound like the most European measurement ever? Like, that's our version of... Oh, it's about a football field. You know? A 1 Henry per meter. That is the most European-sounding thing I've ever heard in my life. I'm not gonna lie. That is, like, literally the exact same as our... Oh, it's about 1 football field. That's crazy. What the heck does a Henry measure? Heard of ohms, Henrys, and I've heard of ohms, I think. Henrys, but Fradas? I don't know what that last one is. No. I've heard of ohms. I don't know what it is. I've heard of it, though. I thought it was something to do with light or something like that. I'm probably wrong, though. Maybe, I know light's like luminosity, but I thought maybe ohms, is that, what, electricity? No, that's like, I don't know. I actually don't know. I have not heard of those yet. Like, I recognize ohms, but I don't recognize Henrys or whatever the heck that is. Henry's a measurement for inductance. Oh. I did not know that at all. Interesting. And frauds are for electrical capitance. Is that capitance? I don't know what the heck I'm saying. I'm sure I'm close enough. Yeah, I have not heard of that stuff yet. I have not. That is new to me. I don't ever take any classes or anything in school. Yeah, no, kilowatt hours? Okay, that's in the game Satisfactory I play, but I have not heard of it yet still, no. Like, I've heard of it, but I have no idea what it measures. Like, kilowatt hours, I assume, is how much energy in kilowatts is used within an hour. I would have to guess that. That's what would make the most sense to me. So something is 1,000 kilowatt hours, or I don't know if that's even the right way to say it. I assume something consumes 1,000 kilowatts. I would have to just, yeah, imagine that's just the consumption of something. And washing machines, really. I played a game called Satisfactory on Steam and all that stuff. It's a factory building game. It's basically 3D Factorio. Love it. It's so good. They have kilowatts in that. Everything's in meters. Everything's measured in meters and all that game. So that's how I think everything, like most games, measure in meters and stuff like that. Like, I think Call of Duty, I can't think of a single game, really, that doesn't measure something in meters. Because, like, I can say something is 200 meters away in-game and run to it, and it feel the exact same as something is 200 yards away. You know, it doesn't really matter when it's in a game like that. Kilometers for every NPC. No, I have not. I'm trying to think what on earth I'm like, no, not Pascal. Kilometers per second. Kilometers per second per something. I do not know what that is, no. Yeah, I haven't heard of this stuff before. Kilometers per second per megaparsec. Now, I have heard of parsec. I have no idea what it is. So you learn all this stuff in AKA Hubble constant. Oh, Hubble constant. That's okay. Fun fact. You know the Hubble space telescope, or the Hubble telescope. I live in the town where that guy was born. A little fun fact. Or actually, I don't live in that town. I live right outside of it. You'd think I would know. Well, maybe that's not the same, even close to the same thing, but that's what it reminds me of. I think my grandpa on my mom's side worked on stuff with the Mars rover Curiosity, which is interesting. Because those boards didn't want to study school stuff. That's fair enough, though. You know, I always watch those, like, chemistry videos and everything that you should watch for school. I watch them going to sleep at night because it's something to listen to. I'm going into chemistry 2, biology 2, genetics. I have a pre-calculus 2 class, as well as diversity and criminology coming up here my next semester. I start school in like 10 days. Proceed to study astronomy and astrophysics. Oh, that's interesting. I remember I took an astronomy class, actually, I think a year ago in college. And for our very first assignment, they had us take a picture of ourselves in front of the moon, which was so weird. So I had to go outside, hopefully, hope that it was, we had like a week to do this. I had to go outside, find that, hopefully it's sunny enough, or not sunny enough, but clear enough to see the moon. Turn the exposure up on my phone and take a little selfie in front of the moon. It's so weird, but it was kind of cool. They had us take pictures of certain stars, constellations, for several different assignments. A lot of weird stuff. It was kind of fun, though. I didn't really enjoy astronomy, though, that much. It was interesting, but not something that was, oh, I want to continue studying this, you know? Pictures for school. I look like an NPC. Everyone does. That's how everyone is. Everyone thinks they look like an NPC. Everyone thinks they sound weird on camera. It's the universal experience. Everyone thinks that. It's the same way where, you know, the more you talk into a microphone and make, like, when I first started streaming, I thought my voice sounded super weird now it's like second nature. I'm so used to it. Same thing, I would assume the same thing happens when you are on camera so much and you take so many photos. You just get used to it. It stops becoming weird the more you do it. I think it's how it is for most things that you do in life. So I think the best way I always explain it is, you ever jumped on a trampoline before, or maybe you haven't, and you ever tried attempting a backflip? The very first one you do is always the scariest, and the more you do it, the more comfortable you get with it, until it becomes like, oh yeah, I can do a backflip easy. Same thing. First time public speaking, first time doing this, first time doing that's always the worst. The more you do it, though, the better it gets. Social phobia won't not let me be good on pictures. I don't take many pictures. I don't do that. Everything is pretty much a skill, though. The more you do it, the better you get at it. And the more comfortable you usually get it as well. That's how I always look at stuff. Everything is just a skill that you can, like, max out and put XP points towards. Oh. I don't take selfies of myself at all, actually. I don't know. I don't do much. I go to work, I go to school, and that's about it. I don't really do much else. I have friends. I don't care to go hang out and do things like that. You know, it's fun when we do, but I don't actively seek it. Not my thing, really. I don't know. Bye, zombies. I think I have I used to actually post a lot of TikToks on online. I had an old account about probably about 3 years ago. That had I think 42,000 followers on it. It's so sad when I had to delete it, because I kept getting like copyright stuff on that. But like I would post like just one video a day and force myself to do that. It was fun interacting with people like that. I don't know. It's more fun online than I think sometimes it can be in person. There's no pressure when it comes to stuff online, you know? You can trash talk people, or you can be really nice to people. I was actually playing Overwatch the other day, and I kind of played awful. I hit Q all, and so I got made a tank in the game, which I'm very bad at, so I kind of did bad. And so one of my DPS on my team started blaming me. And normally, I would just let it go. Like, I don't really care about that, you know? Whatever. This time, though, was different. I don't know what I was doing. I'm like, and so he added me, so I added him back. And we had a 1v1 in that game. And I killed him in that. I killed him in that. And then he was like, oh, I did not expect that. And so then we actually queued up with each other and played a few games, and it was fun. So I'm like, we ended it as like, oh, have a Happy New Year's and all that stuff. Diva, my beloved. Dude, okay. Mercy is like my thing. I love playing Mercy so much. That is the reason I actually started playing the game, was because of that, the Living Tombstone song. Mercy, Juno, and... Oh, that'd be fun. I think my 3 that I play support more than anything else. I always played Mercy, and then I kind of got bored of Mercy after a while. I think it took me like 100 hours on Mercy to finally get bored of her. And then I went to play a lot of Anna, whatever you call it, Anna. I have her as my next played hero, and then after that, I think it's actually Baptiste. I think I don't like Baptiste though, but he's effective. And as of recently, I've been playing a lot more Kiriko. I don't play any comp or anything like that. It's just always casual, but. DPS and all that stuff, and then tank. I don't really play... I play a lot of hit scan, which I always see people online now calling it pred scan, which is kind of funny, but... Oh my gosh, you see that hit scan? They had an underage Mercy pocket, and I'm like, what? What are we just saying words now? It's like, what? So stupid. Call me girlish for a while, so I stopped playing for like a month? Nah. I mean, like, all the supports are pretty much girls. Like, okay, how many guy supports do we have? There's Baptiste. Wu Yang now. There's Wu Yang. Life Weaver? I don't know if you count. I mean, technically? I don't know. I think he's technically a guy. He just identifies as, I think, gay. I don't know. I don't know, actually. We'll say he's a guy for the purpose of this argument, you know. I mean, shoot, who else is there? Yeah, all my main. Yeah, well, that's because there's like only 2 or 3 supports that are actually guys. It's hard, and it's especially when all of the good ones are females. Well, then it just so happens to be the case, you know. That just so happens to be the case. Actually, to be fair, most of the characters in the game that are good are the female characters. It's just because of how their kit is designed. You know, like Sojourn, when she came out initially, absolutely dominated until her railgun finally got nerfed into the ground. Tracer's always been good. Ana's always been good. Kiriko's always been good. Oh, Lucio. He's one of the few ones that male characters that's really good. You know, then there is Genji. But, like, Ashe is really good hit scan. Female. There you go. Actually, that works. Most of the really, really good characters that are played in that game are female. Like, D.Va. Mauga meta, that was awful when that was a thing. But... that's just how it is, you know. I don't have to play a guy on the game. Let me, you know, have my hero fantasy of flying around like an angel, please. I don't care. I can do whatever I want. Shooting behind you, people go flying. Was it the April Fool's one? I don't remember it, honestly. I didn't really play actually much during any of the April Fool's updates. I actually took like a 1.5-year break. After what's his name? Hazard was released. I took a break, and I only just now started playing again once Vendetta's been released. I hate Vendetta so much. Vendetta sucks. Vendetta is what I imagine like Prime Doom used to be like. She is so oppressive, and I am waiting for... She gets forced crits, and it's so dumb. Every 3rd swing of her sword is a forced crit. Which I think, in my humble gold opinion, is too much. Yeah, no, Vendetta sucks. You do not want to meet Vendetta. It's like Rein. Like, okay, I don't know. The best way I can think of it is imagine Rein with Pharah levels of mobility. And, like, I don't know, Kiriko level hitbox. Maybe a little bit bigger, but... That's the best way I can describe it. It is basically Rein with Pharah levels mobility. It's the worst. When I play D.Va against Hazard, I always get stunned and mech's gone. Yeah. I think Hazard, I think they recently just changed this in the season 20 patch that came out. Hazard, his block when he did that block and shot out needles, it would prevent headshots. Now you can headshot him when that happens. It's still hard to do it because his head's like obscured, but you can actually headshot him now, which is nice. Oh my gosh, it's kind of awful on Overwatch. Every single game's Vendetta. And even if you play range, it's hard to go against her because she has a block. Okay, half her health is armor, right? So you have, and on top of that, she can block damage up to like 80%. It's crazy. And it's not on a cooldown either. You block, as long as you don't fully use up your entire block, all the resource on it. Like, if it gets hit too many times, then sure, yeah, obviously you will be, like, locked out of it for a few seconds. But if you don't use all of it, you just get to instantly reblock again. Like, I can be standing right in front of a D.Va, and with her bomb going off, whatever it is, and it will deal maybe half damage to her. It's wild. Her ult can one-shot people. It goes through shields. It goes through, like, Zarya's bubble. Like, if D.Va ults, right, and I pop a Zarya bubble, I at least won't take damage, because it's a single instance. No. With Vendetta's ultimate, it will break your entire shield and get rid of half of your health in the process. Same thing with Zarya. It'll break your bubble and deal, like, half damage. It is genuinely one of the worst characters I have ever had the displeasure of playing against. Like, at least it doesn't go through everything, like, you know, it doesn't go through Mei's ice, like, ice block or stuff like that, but, it's awful. It really is bad. And they did not nerf her at all. And then in the season 20, like, when they released her, they did not nerf her at all. So now we have to wait until the mid-season patch here and, like, at the end of January, beginning of February, for her to actually be addressed. And even then, I don't think she'll be how Rein could just suck up an entire D.Va. Yeah. Well, now Venture can do that as a DPS. And, you know, the cooldown on her, even if you do fully use up her entire thing like that, you still only have like 5 seconds until you can reuse it again. Oh yeah, and the more you hit your targets with your sword, the faster you get to swing. The faster movement speed you get. She can throw little sword slashes like Genji. You know, imagine like a Genji Dragon Strike, but he can swing it like, and throw it out like 10 miles. Hold on, I gotta show you this here real quick. I could never do it justice just through, like, talking about it alone. Hold on. Let me find something. Let me find a video here. Kind of covering it. What's my controller at? Okay, it's full still. What's it called? Don't mind that. That's just... I watch a lot of those drama videos. What's it called? Vendetta Kit Overwatch. I mean, we'll kind of skim through it. Is this, was it Car Q? Yeah. Basically,
Vendetta, better known as La Lupa, is the first melee DPS hero in Overwatch and has an early hero trial right now if you log in. But why use your fists when your weapon is a greatsword called the Palatine Fang? This is on a 3-swing cycle. This deals 50-50, 1/3.
50-50.
30.
130. That last shot right there is always
50, 130. This is the
that last one there's always a forced crit as well, no matter what. You can't get rid of that forced crit.
cadence. You swing, swing, overhead. And you want to be doing that third overhead hit as often as you can because it does the most damage, and it counts as an ability critical hit, which means it bypasses the 25% crit damage
I hate it. It bypasses it.
reduction that all tanks get from their passive. Her sword range is approximately 5 meters for the first two swings, and then 7.5 meter range for the overhead.
So my melee character. The
Ignore
sword's bigger than Tracer, by the way. The sword is literally bigger than the model of Tracer.
the official stats here. This is not accounting for her 0.7 meter
I love that. I love when my melee character can kills people from like 4 body lengths away.
hitbox width, which does add up to 5 and 7.5 respectively. Alright, here's some quick tips and tech. You can extend your swing hitbox by 10 meter down, spike people down. The overhead acts as a mini down smash, so you can spike people down to decent.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
Our
So you can spike people down like this.
Testing has this estimated to maybe a 10 meter downward knockdown on the enemy, but it won't necessarily. The overhead swing will always lunge you forward. If you look in the center from falling off the map, you will see a little UI indicator which is associated with her passive called Onslaught, where hitting enemies will increase her attack speed and movement speed.
Yep.
Vendetta
I love
will
it.
gain 5% attack speed and 4% movement speed per stack, with a total of 5 stacks, which has a 5
That should be a perk, not a base kit thing. What are we doing?
5-second duration before it expires, which is actually really long. You should be able to stay at max stacks throughout an entire team fight because you can constantly refresh it by dealing
So
any bit of
awful.
damage from any part of her kit. It doesn't actually.
Yeah, she's a
compete from
DPS.
Her, primary fire swings or her greatsword swings. So look, a regular melee here will do the trick, or any of her other abilities. It's also based on the number of targets hit. So if you hit 2 enemies with 1 swing,
Instantly go to max. Like, it should not be
2
that.
stacks.
Oh, dang. Hello, guy. Hello, ad.
Now this is a channeled ability using an energy
This is the worst part of her kit right here. This is the part of her kit that makes her unplayable. I hate
enemies
her.
with 1 blocks with it is 2 stacks. Next ability is called Warding Stance, where she blocks with her sword. Now this is a channeled ability using an energy resource that only drains if it successfully blocks something,
Which should not be the case.
or you consume it to use another ability called Projected Edge, but we'll cover that afterwards. So for the blocking portion, it will block 75% of the damage taken from
75% damage taken. Look at that. And half her thing is armor as well. So you're already getting a base damage reduction plus a block.
the front. And every time Vendetta blocks
Stuck with a bomb. Nope.
something,
Not even half your health is gone.
will consume energy based on 40% of the damage taken. As long as she's still
Tank's Doom.
blocking and there's a little bit of energy left, she can still get the full 75% damage reduction on the next
Okay, so she can fully survive a Diva Bomb to the face.
blocking, and there's a little bit of energy left, she can still get the full 75% damage reduction on
Well,
the
actually, even then, she took a little bit of damage prior.
next big instance of damage, similar to how Ryan can block a Diva Bomb with a 2 HP shield, for example. But that's not the best part about Warding Stance. The best part is that it fully blocks melee-based attacks. It fully nulls them.
Oh, I didn't even know that part. Fully blocks melee attack. So what? Rhine can't hit you now?
So 100% damage reduction instead of 75%.
Whoa! 100% damage reduction.
Damage reduction. So a short list of melee-based abilities are Joker Queen's Carnage swing, her regular melees, even with Gracie in hand, Reinhardt swings.
What are we doing? She can actually solo Ryan, by the way. She can, done correctly, she can kill Ryan in a full-on 1v1. Like, constant swinging.
Brig swings, Genji's Dragon Blade.
That's balanced. I love it when my ultimate gets canceled by, her block.
Hazard's Violent Leap, the Vendetta Mirror swings, and randomly a Mauga Overrun on the Stomp crit portion specifically, which we accidentally came across while testing. So this leaves us open to some more Mythbuster interactions you guys can leave in the comments. Now here are some more tidbits of information. Vendetta has a 106.3 degree, that's 9% energy. Our next ability I want to talk about is Projected Edge.
So like that, okay, by itself, that's fine. Sure, whatever. But the fact is that, add all of that onto this.
Since it ties nicely with Warding Stance. This one's simple. All it does is it
Oh, well,
consumes
the next
30%
one after
of
this.
Vendetta's energy while in warding stance in order to fire an 80 damage projectile. This will pierce heroes, so it can hit multiple targets,
Nice.
but it cannot pierce barriers, so it can be blocked.
Oh wow,
Our
how
next ability we're going to talk about is
I'm so glad it could be blocked. You know, we'll just fly over the shield like Pharah instead, though.
Whirlwind Dash. This is where she dashes forward into a circular slash. This is a 10-second cooldown ability that has a lot of little details to it. Now, the slash portion will deal 80 damage, but if you are at the tippiest max range radius of 6.5 meters at the end, the damage can scale down to as low as 40 damage, so that's what these two numbers here mean. Vendetta is stuck in a forward-only a 0. The circular slash will come out immediately. Ability Collision, so Rhine Charge, Doom Punch, Brig Bash, etc., will force both players to fall down, so you gotta be careful for that.
Nice.
Next, the forward-only movement lock is actually released the moment she starts that circular slash, so you can actually slightly change directions near the end of it, especially if you bounce off. When you collide with an enemy, you want to aim fly to it. The
Oh,
next
okay,
ability
here it is.
called
Here is-
Soaring Slice.
Here's the issue with her right
Which
here.
allows her to throw her sword and then fly to it. And then it makes the next attack an overhead swing, which is again 130 damage if you forgot. The sword throw itself can do 50 damage if you directly hit an enemy with it, and it has a max throwing distance of 16 meters. You are able to stop flying to your sword early if you press jump early, which will still carry your momentum, and thus allow you to prep your overhead swing a little bit earlier. Now, while you're mid-air from the Soaring Slice, you have 3 seconds to input the primary fire button to get the overhead swings before it times out. Now, because you have that 3-second window, you can actually combo this with a ton of other abilities, such as Whirlwind Dash. So, for
love that.
example, you can throw the sword, you can even throw a projectile while you're mid-air, go into your Whirlwind Dash, and then finally finish with the mid-air
Balanced,
overhead.
absolutely balanced.
So here's the combo once again in real time. Throw the sword, projectile, Whirlwind Slash into overhead. All right, here's some more quick tips and tech. You don't actually have to throw a max distance sword in the air to challenge enemies on the high ground and then risk it, and then use the momentum from it to surprise enemies longer if needed by holding jump when situationally blade. This cleaves through most defenses and deals severe damage, according to the description. Now, this is a very loaded ability, and let me explain very slowly. Vendetta begins channeling this big overhead slash that will get stronger and larger the longer she holds it. So stage 1 damage is 100 damage with an 8-meter range. Stage 2 is 200 damage with a 16-meter range, and Stage 3 is 400 damage with a 24-meter range. Now she holds Stage 1 for 1 second, Stage 2 for 1 second, and then Stage 3 for 2 seconds before it automatically comes out if you don't press anything, so 1, 1, 2. Now the outside edge of the Sundering Blade will be an indirect hit and will be half the damage at each stage, so 50, 100% deployable bonus damage. There's also armor piercing, barrier piercing, and sunder, which we'll cover after.
I love armor piercing and barrier piercing.
50% deployable bonus damage. Now this means her ultimate will deal half or 50% of the max health of the enemy deployable on top of the base damage. So for example, Lifeweaver's Tree has 1200 HP, so it will deal a base 400 for stage 3 plus 600 for a total of 1000 damage on the tree. Pretty
Yeah.
much 1000 HP gone plus the 400 base for stage 3. Reinhardt's Shield is also deployable. So the Rein's 1500 shield, it's going to be popped for 1150. And then Sigma's Shield, honestly, doesn't even exist. That thing's going down immediately.
Barrier unsuccessful.
Yeah, woo.
This isn't even the best part about her ultimate here. The next tag you see up here says Armor Piercing, meaning this ult will not be reduced by the effects of armor. It acts as if it's normal white health. It also has this Barrier Piercing
Which should
tag,
not be. It should not have armor piercing. I don't know
which
why
I
it
guess
does.
was quite obvious from the examples before where we, destroyed the Rhine shield. And then finally, we have this brand new effect here called Sundering. This ability completely ignores damage reduction. So you will do true damage to a blocking Ramatra or a nano boosted target, for example. Sundering also means you completely delete overhealth, the green health, and then deal its normal damage underneath it.
I don't know why.
Say goodbye to Lucio Beat, he will actually be one-shot completely.
That shouldn't be a thing. Lucio's got like 2,000 health there. That should never be a one-shot.
Sundering also means you deal full damage to bubbled heroes if the bubble is destroyed. So Zarya and Wrecking Ball are going to be in for a surprise. Here's some more tidbits of information on her ult. 5 meters wide. She has a movement speed penalty while she is channeling for 50% of her move speed while she is on the ground. If she is in the air, she will slowly descend in the air at 2.5 meters per second. That's pretty slow though. The knockback stat here, based on my understanding, the down smash grants 30% lifesteal on the overhead swing, which means you have 2 opportunities to use it. One minor perk is called...
Then he just got perks on top of this. What do we got? Onslaught. Onslaught can stack 3 more times. Okay, so it can go to what, 7 times?
5% attack speed, 4% movement speed per stack, which means she can have a total of 8 stacks now, giving her a total of 40% total attack speed and 32% movement speed.
Oh my gosh.
For her major perks, first one is called Swift Vengeance. This is a very snowbally one. The last player to land a killing blow on you becomes the Vendetta target. So if you eliminate that target afterwards, you will instantly gain 125 over health and reset all your cooldowns. The other major perk is called Raging Storm. This makes it so the Whirlwind Dash deals an extra 3 spins for 40 damage each, meaning the total will now become 80 damage for the base Whirlwind, plus 40, plus 40, plus 40, for a total of...
That's not balanced right there. That's not balanced. 200?
200 damage. You actually stack your Onslaught passive very quickly, especially if you hit a clump of enemies. And that concludes the early Vendetta ability breakdown. Hopefully that was easy enough to follow. If you
She's so unbalanced. It's just... I don't know why that's how she is. I don't know why. It's like, yeah, it's like that one comment. Yeah, it's like, what would you want to add to her kit? Everything? Okay, if you say so. Me, after I completely tank the D.Va Bomb, swing at my enemy for 200 damage directly afterwards, and then have all my cooldowns reset or something. I have no idea. Hi, I'm a DPS hero. I don't know what we're doing. I don't know what's going on. All I know, though, is I hate playing Overwatch right now. Yeah, it sucks. It really sucks. Going against Vendetta is like actual death sentence. And that's just fully allowed in competitive as well, by the way. So, like, I have to imagine she's getting banned a lot of the time in competitive. Why can't a hero be released in a very weak state? Why does every single hero have to be super good when they're released? I would rather a hero be awful when they're released and then slowly work their way up. Like Lifeweaver. But, like, okay, Lifeweaver is just... I mean, Lifeweaver is not the best by far. I think he's like one of the least picked, actually, but... You pissed me about I solo every... Oh yeah, I'm a DPS character. I solo every character in the game. Like, the only... I will say... I have to imagine at higher levels of play that she is probably countered by Ana fairly reliably and fairly easily. I would have to imagine. Because a lot of her attacks like that are straight line things, you know. Very easy for Ana to sleep, nade, shoot, all that stuff. But I can't think of an actual... I mean... I can't think of an actual character that she couldn't 1v1. Maybe the only one I can think of is Cass, maybe. But that's about it. Maybe Cass, maybe Mei. Potentially. I mean, Widowmaker depends on the circumstances, obviously. Probably too busy screaming even didn't think they're stunning her. I mean, Ana players. That point, yeah. I'm a very average player. I think I'm like the average player when it comes to Overwatch. I'm in I think like plat on tank, the highest level you can be in gold without being in plat. I think the average player is in plat. So technically, I mean my tank role I got plat in, but everything else was like gold 1 and all that stuff. Like gold 1 something. Yeah, no, there's no hero that can survive it. No. Yeah, that's the issue. That's my issue with it right now. It is the crit. I think the crit is the big problem right now. I don't think the crit should be active until you get level 3 on her little like thing that makes her speed up and swing faster. Once that hits level 3, then I think she should be able to crit people. I think that would be fair. But until then, no, don't give her that for free. She needs to have some of her armor reduced as well. I don't think... Well, actually, no, that'd be like super unfair if that was the case there. What else would I change? Yeah, definitely reduce some of her armor. Like, a lot of it. I would also make her... whatever it's called, the little shield blocking thing, be on a longer cooldown. There's like a 1 second cooldown between uses, pretty much. I would put that on a longer cooldown as well. Maybe like 2.5 between them. Actually, that's probably too much. Maybe like 2 to start with, see if it's bad. But it's just, like, 75% damage reduction should not be the case. She should not be able to have 100% melee damage reduction. Think who would win? Yeah. Me when I completely block every single one of Rhein's swings for 4 swings in a row. Hello. I'm a DPS using an ability that will be back in 5 seconds. It's so bad. It's so bad. It's like Genji if he was actually... It's like Genji if he was good, you know? It's what Genji wishes he could be. I hate to say it. Like, why is the sword, the base sword of a character, better than the ultimate sword of a character? I don't know why. Little toddler, you could punt. A little toddler, you could punt like a football. Just give a beer loving hammer time, man. Yeah. Which one would you want? Ugh, it's so bad, man. It's so bad. They need to I think it needs to be hot fixed, like right now. I think they did that with Adventure, but longer than Tracer and almost wider than the hero itself. You know, it's okay, you know, whatever. Have a big sword and all that, but make it do the actual range. Like the overhead slash is an issue, I think. I think the overhead slash has way too much range. Too much range and too much crit damage. I don't know. Maybe this is why I don't know. Maybe I just don't understand it. Maybe I'm just not good enough or something. It's a skill issue. 7 meters? Yeah, 7 meters for the range is... Like, how far can Mei shoot? That's like a Mei blast right there, I think. I don't know. I think Mei shoots at 15 meters, actually. I don't remember. It's not fair, though. It's not fair. "75% damage reduction and then 100% melee damage reduction." Now, why would that ever be the case? The Kai's chain blades on Kung Fu Panda? Actually, though, yeah. It's demotivating to play against. That's what it is. Like, I see that, and I want to quit so badly, but there's, like, quick play penalties and all, so I don't. I just start, like, complaining in chat. Like, okay, I can't think of one character that, like, usually there's always one character that can counter her, right? There's usually one character that can counter. I cannot think of one. Seriously. I cannot think of one character that fully shuts down that, you know, her. Like, Sombra fully shuts down Widow usually. Like, not even Widow could do it. I'm gonna throw my sword into the air, block while I'm in the air now. Take, like, 3 headshots with it. Run behind cover, wait for my cooldowns to, refresh, and do the same thing over and over. Okay, like, Reaper, no. None of them. I can't think of any. It's bad. It's really bad. Any DPS character who can do it. Like, again, maybe Cass, but the only reason Cass can do it is because he quite literally locks you out of using all of your abilities for 1.2 seconds now. It used to be 0.75 seconds, so they buffed him in the latest patch. His flash can now, it locks you out of abilities for 1.2 seconds now. I don't know why they changed it. I don't think anyone really wanted that change. Take off half HP? Maybe? The only thing that counters her is Vendetta. And even then, it's like a toss-up, you know, because you can still block all of Vendetta's melee damage. I have never seen... I mean, I've been playing this since Overwatch 2. I didn't play Overwatch 1, right? I don't think I have seen a hero more powerful at launch than this. Maybe Brig. I assume Brig was... Like, Brig was the catalyst that made roll lock in the first place, I'm pretty sure. Actually, what's that magic? Oh, it's useless. I don't know what can get her though. I don't know. And quite frankly, I refuse to figure it out. Because that means I have to play against her, which is not fun. I don't know, man. This sucks. Yeah, like multiple heroes, you can't deal with 2 people at once. Unless you like do the little swingy thing, and then maybe you can. You know, with Vendetta, yeah, you can probably deal with 2 heroes at once, I would even say. Maybe Orisa because of the spear? Spear would work. Do that mean... Doom just gets blocked instantly because of the thing. I don't think Doom would beat her. I mean, Sigma, probably not. I mean, Zarya? Zarya might be your best chance, I would argue. You got 2 bubbles to use against her. Get 1 taps and half gone? Yeah. Like, if she, okay, assuming that she does not have her ultimate, I would say maybe Zarya could do it. Because 2 bubbles in a primary hits you 3 times. I mean, I don't know. Would 1 full, like, combo of Zarya's or of Vendetta completely break a Zarya bubble? If it doesn't, then maybe. That's bad. I had to say maybe. I don't know. I don't know. That was good luck, dang. But I don't know. I don't know. There's nothing that I can realistically think of that works well. Orisa's ult would just know. I don't think that would work. I mean, the nail in the coffin is the pure 100% melee block. Who else? Why can't I think of any tanks now? I mean, Mauga? No, not really. I don't think so. We saw how that went. Like, a Mauga ultimate, you could probably do it with, I would say. Like, if you are Mauga and ulted on her, I think you could probably win that. Because your abilities are locked out. But that's to beat that's you have to ult as a Mauga to beat a non-ulting Symmetra with turrets? Yeah, maybe. Oh, wait, hold on. Let me show you that Vendetta Symmetra clip real quick. Let me find it real quick here. TikTok. Let me go to TikTok on my computer. The Vendetta Symmetra clip. Let me find this here. Sim clip over. Videos. Oh my gosh. Why can't I look? I'm not logged in. Whatever. Maybe it's on YouTube Shorts or something. We'll see. I don't know. I don't know if it's gonna be here. Basically, though, she can throw her sword and then use the teleporter infinitely, which is a little much if you ask me. Just a wee bit much. But what do I know, you know? Thing is that you'll have top ranked players saying like, "Oh, she's bad," you know. Yeah, maybe if you're a Grandmaster, sure, but I'm sorry, but the majority of the player base is in Platinum. All right? It makes sense to an extent to balance around that, I would think. Just make Overwatch 3? Yeah, just scrap the whole game at this point. She's done too much damage already. Like, quite literally and figuratively. Scrap the whole game, make Overwatch 3. So my teammates can be even dumber. 7 a.m. for me, midnight for you? Yep, pretty much. Yeah. Do you just not sleep at all? You just kind of stay awake forever? Or is your whole... Oh, hold on. I didn't grab snowballs. Or is your day kind of like flipped where you sleep during the day and you're awake more at night? Nah, I'm an owl? Gotcha, okay. Makes more sense. I'll probably play for another... I'll probably play to 8 hours tonight. More than likely, I'll play to 8 hours, whatever that gets me to. Another hour and 10 minutes or so. And then I might play tomorrow morning. I'll try. Depends on when I wake up. If I go to bed at, let's say, 1:30 a.m., I should be able to realistically get up by about 10 and 2 hours in the morning tomorrow. You don't got... No, I do work, but I don't work until 2 p.m. again, so... I have nothing going on in the morning, so I could sleep in as long as, early as I want, or late as I want. Hello, dog, on my right. But then Sunday morning, I have to be at work at 9 a.m. But then I get up at 2 p.m., so... That's actually fine. I'm okay with that. That's better. 2 a.m. to sleep and start going so much... Yeah, I can't do that. No. I tried that a little bit. So when I was in college, the very beginning of this year... I don't need to do anything, actually. Very beginning of this year, I was in my dorm at college. And I would stay up until maybe like 1 a.m. and then had to wake back. I would wake up the same morning. Like, I'd go to sleep at like 1 a.m. and then wake up at maybe 7:30 a.m. And that was so unsustainable. I would go for my 2 classes in the morning, come home, and then sleep. Or go back to my room and then sleep for like 3 hours. If I sleep more than 5 hours, I feel tired if I don't sleep more than 5 hours. I feel tired if I don't sleep more than 8 hours. I'm sure the quality of sleep I get doesn't help much either. Like, I don't sleep all the way through the night at all. I always wake up at least once or twice. But Unk status, honestly, yeah. 21 years... Not young, old. I'm already, like, on the verge of retirement. It's over. It's been over for, like, a year probably now. To someone? Really? Oh my gosh. Yeah, I can't stay awake long. I'd be content with going to bed right now, but I really want to try and get to insta-kills tomorrow. So I only have 17 more rounds to go. Actually, it's not bad. 17 rounds, 3 of them are dog rounds, I think, maybe. I don't know. Maybe 2. 15 rounds, realistically, maybe. Oh, that's not nice. Hello, zombies. Oh, right. What do I listen to on YouTube? For the last hour or so? 95 useless Overwatch 2 facts. Not really. 30 of them are going to be about Vendetta, and I don't want to hear about Vendetta. What's on the feed? What do we have? Honestly, probably just watch some like furry drama or something. An analysis of has-been hotel swears. Oh my gosh, hold on. That could be gold. The whole written by VisiPop thing. That could be actual pure gold right there. What do we got? Oh, it's an ad. That's what we got.
Everyone knows the meme blank if it was written by VivziePop,
Yeah.
followed by a clip of an existing show edited to include an inordinate amount of swears and sex jokes. But I wondered how much truth there was to this meme.
A lot.
So I went through and counted each swear in the pilot and the so far 2 seasons of the animated adult series
It's a
Has
lot.
Been Hotel to find out exactly how much cursing there really is. Before I show you the data, I have to tell you a bit about how I counted swears and what even counts as a swear. For example, is crap a swear?
No. Okay, it's okay. It is good. I was more partial to Hell of a Boss though. I enjoyed that one a little bit more. I also did watch have watched The Amazing Digital Circus, which is one of my favorites so far. I loved The Amazing Digital Circus. Really enjoyed that. I'm waiting for episode 8. Or I think 8 was what we just got recently. 7 or 8, one of the two. Was really solid. I'm waiting for the next episode in like, I don't know, 8 months. But
Is whore a swear? Yes, those words are vulgar, but they aren't what I would think of as swears. Like, I can imagine contexts where those don't feel like swears, but then again, bitch can also mean female dog. Damn and piss are considered mild swears, but are clearly far away from the F word. There's never going to be a perfect swear counting system, but I decided to do
Hail the
this.
Leaf? I think I've heard
If
of
a
that
mild
before.
vulgar word was used in a swear context, it would be counted. If a mild vulgar
let's see this real quick. The Darkest shooter game. Wait, have I watched this video? It sounds familiar. Hold on.
word was
Oh, I have not. Oh, it's Ready or Not! I've heard of that. I heard that they actually had to go back and like get rid of some stuff because it wasn't
Imagine
allowed.
a horror game.
FNAF.
Okay, now imagine a first-person shooter. Now, what do you get when you mix these together?
A lot of it's
Ladies
just,
and
like,
gentlemen,
like
I
sex
present to
trafficking
you...
rings and stuff.
Don't get me wrong, an FPS game doesn't need to have the horror tag slapped on it for it to be scary. Just look at Payday 3. A mere glance at the Steam reviews is enough to make me cower in fear. And I'll admit, being hunted down by a scary monster can create a seriously spooky game. But then, the monster kills you, and you realize that this is just a game, and the monster is fake. So what happens when the monster you're seeing is real?
How long is this? Ooh, an hour. Perfect.
In a world where you can use video games to simulate doing drugs, peeing on things, having a blue space girlfriend, and killing people, the game Ready or Not was made so that you can simulate
All of
being
it.
a cop.
Oh.
So you can still kill people at least, but only if you yell at them first. They also need to have like a weapon or whatever, and also need to like pose a threat or whatever, but who cares about that? I'm the law. And though the game may start out with killing meth heads and common criminals who shout obscenities at you,
Lovely.
eventually we start to see
Hello,
some of the
dog,
most
for again
terrifying
ruining
and
it.
disturbing things ever put in a game. Of course, Ready or Not isn't the first game to attempt the whole edgy, realistic FPS shtick.
Like. Wow.
Games like Ground Branch or Escape from Tarkov hold a very similar sentiment in mind. Unforgiving, in-depth, and realistic combat gameplay. So, what's so special about Ready or Not then? Well, hello there. I got good news. You got the job. You now work
My
for the
chaining
Los Sueños
sucks.
Police Department. I also have bad news. You now work for the Los Sueños Police Department. Los Sueños is a fictional Californian city that is riddled with poverty and crime, which doesn't sound so fictional, considering it's in California. You play as David Beaumont, nicknamed Judge. Judge is the leader of D Platoon, a SWAT team who was unfortunate enough to be placed in the most obscenely crime-filled city in the world. It's because of this that at any time,
Yeah. The clip reminded me of the clip I saw of a saying that she hates cops. Fourth line executed her? Oh my gosh. I had one of my, I think, friends online, Mock. They'll tell me about the game. That's actually how I initially heard of it. I don't know if I would like it though. I don't know. As long as it's not like PvP, I don't think it's any PvP in it.
we
It's
could
literally
get called
just
to
like
a scene.
the.
At
I don't know how to
any time.
explain it.
At any time,
We're
damn.
getting a call.
Thank you. The first mission of Ready or Not is a masterclass in video game tutorials. The game does a great job of easing you in without doing some schlocky hand-holding snooze fest. Thank You, Come
Pop that
Again is a
clip.
mission where we're sent in to deal with an armed robbery at the 4U gas station. We're immediately met with a grim scene. The very first thing we see is a dead body on the ground, along with the prompt to report it. This first introduces us to a very important mechanic: reporting things. Every little detail in this game is important, including the next lesson the game teaches you: breaching doors. When trying to open the front doors, you'll be met with a slew of commands. You can attempt to open the door, or you can kick it. There's the option to open both doors, or just one. The game has a variety of ways of tackling things. The door is locked? Well, lockpick it, or kick it, or go the old-fashioned American
Oh, wow,
way,
there's a
or
lot
go
more
the
then.
old-fashioned other American way. You can use a mirror gun to spy the room before entering. You can even command your ossifers to breach for you. Upon entering the station, we're likely met with one of the suspects. While not as violent as enemies later in the game, the enemies here still serve an important lesson. You are just as vulnerable as them. Commonly in games, there's this one-man army trope. Jason Brody is able to sprint, leap, and lob grenades at an inhuman rate with impeccable accuracy. Sure, he got hit in the face with a bullet, but that doesn't matter. He'll just pull the metal shard out of his hand and be fine.
I've had worse. You liar! Come on, you pansy!
You got shot in the head with a 50 BMG in Call of Duty? Don't worry, you had 3 ceramic plates shoved in your vest. In Ready or Not, things don't work this way. Instead of the usual fast pace of most modern shooter games, Ready or Not slows you down to a walk, and upon trying to run, you'll discover that you in fact were running. After all, carrying a full set of armor, a gun, ammo, handcuffs, another gun, evidence bags, another gun, grenades, another gun, it all gets pretty heavy after a while. This proves to be a challenge when getting in a gunfight, where in other games you can simply sprint or leap behind cover. In Ready or Not, you don't have the luxury of fast movement. If you're caught in the open, you're likely done for. This encourages a type of very tactical and careful gameplay. In Call of Duty, 5 enemies would take a hefty 15 seconds to kill, and that's being extremely generous. In Ready or Not, on the other hand, it takes the whole level, and while that may sound boring, it kinda is, but it also changes the idea of boring. When playing Call of Duty, there's constant action, and after a while, the constant action starts to get really dull, and eventually it becomes boring. But in Ready or Not, the occasional contact with enemies serves to keep the game suspenseful, and after learning just how unforgiving the game is, even the dull parts of the game become very enjoyable, because it's a constant build-up to the real fun instead of spoiling all the fun by handing it to you. In one of the rooms, we find something disgusting. Something that serves as a warning that this game isn't afraid to upset people. Before every mission in Ready or Not, there's an optional mission briefing you can look at that contains all of the information we need going into an operation. It has details, images of suspects, civilians, and all sorts of data. But one important thing is the 911 calls. You can listen to all the calls that your police station received regarding the current mission, and usually, they're pretty haunting.
911, what's your emergency?
Hello, my name is Charlotte Lake. I'm at a gas station and need help right now.
On this particular mission, you can observe a call from the store manager, where at the end, you can hear him being shot. It's in this room that we see the aftermath.
Where's the robbery taking place?
The foil! Gas station! No! No! No!
And there's an ad. Very good time for an ad. Man, I should buy Dying Light, the Beast. said not
Even
me.
worse, we can see his phone on the floor next to him, receiving an incoming call from what looks to be his wife. This phone call technique is something that Void Interactive loves using, and something that will come back in a much more haunting way later in the game. But for now, let's focus on the manager, because this gruesome scene doesn't end there. Near him, in the other room, we can find plaques on the wall. One is a diploma from the Watt Community College, and a certificate of appreciation from the US Forest Service. Not only is this a dead man who has a wife, but he's a dead man who has a history. Void did an amazing job at giving this literally faceless man an identity, even when most players would overlook it. In fact, they did a good job with it.
Shoot,
because
maybe if it's
most
on
players
sale, I'll
would
grab
overlook
it.
They
This
didn't
game.
shove anything in your face. There wasn't some genius storytelling mechanic that naturally introduced his humanity, because they weren't telling a story here. They were making one. It doesn't matter if you discover all this, the game will go on the same way, but you can discover it, and that I find incredible. This attention to detail is something that we'll see throughout the game, and it's what I believe Void does better than every other game studio out there. Even though it's mainly an introductory map, this map still has a great story behind it. Outside of the gas station, we can find a DeBanco truck. It's a secure, armored
Spoil
truck that
anything?
is used for hauling valuable things. In this case, money. Inside the store, we can find the store's safe.
I don't really care.
already
I don't
opened
really
and
care
in the
too much about
process of being
spoilers.
looted.
I've seen
But
a
hold
lot on.
If this is a secure truck, surely it has
I've heard that a
security,
lot
right?
of the missions get way worse than this. So, yeah, like what, child traffic sex rings in this or something like that. It gets way worse. I know that much. Go ahead. I say have at it. Go ahead. I don't really mind it too much. It's not an issue. Spoil to your heart's content.
And surely the process of moving the money from the store to the truck is a very in-depth and precise one, right? So how did a contingency like this come about? Well, that's where Ready or Not's unique storytelling comes into play once again. On a bulletin board inside the store, we can find a flyer detailing a workers' demonstration against the company DeBanco. This implies, and stay with me here, that because a large number of DeBanco's employees were on strike, they were then understaffed, and consequently were able to be overtaken by the robbers. This is further evidenced by an ATM on the map having a note on it reading "No cash out," implying that because of DeBanco's understaffment, they haven't been able to refill ATMs across the city. But why read into it so far? Let's just listen to a phone call in the manager's
Well,
office
you just
instead.
died and you hear the music.
Hi, Mudasir. I got your message about
Music, you
the
hear-
on-site
You hear
safe.
tens if not
I am trying
hundreds
my
of
best
phone
to
ring.
get that
What?
sorted
Oh, I
as
gotta look that
possible.
scene up real quick.
I know the ATMs have been a huge problem, and you know DeBanco's been having a lot of issues as well lately.
I gotta find that. So, what's this? Disco. Ready or not disco phone. We'll go ready or not disco phone. Phones. Gets mentioned in the video later on. Okay. I gotta spoil myself though. I'm like skipping through. Why is this the most replayed part? Let me find the different video with it. Phones. And we'll just we'll We'll just wait till we get in the video.
Another
then.
interesting set piece on this mission is a dead veteran we can find in the cafe area. Near him is his dead dog, with them both apparently having been gunned down. Next to him, we can find a handgun. Seemingly, he tried to fight back against the robbers, however, as we can see, the gun stovepiped and he was killed. There's also an aspect of the map that seems very out of place for a game like this. One of our objectives in this mission is to find a young girl by the name Crystal Layton. We can find her stranded in a closet.
Commander.
Of course, she's safe and sound, however,
Commander,
it raises...
I have a question.
What? No, the game doesn't let you shoot her. It raises an interesting question. What is a child doing in a game like this? With how dark and violent the game is, it's a bold move to put children anywhere near it.
Ooh.
But trust me, you have no idea.
911, what is your emergency?
My name is Michael Williams. I'm currently in apartment 14 in the San Uriel condominiums with my piece of shit brother. I'm calling you because I've killed my mother. I'm going to kill my brother. And then I'm going to kill myself.
Okay, sir, stay with me. I would like to...
Don't tell me what to do!
Upon arriving at the scene, we can hear muffled gunshots from within the complex. There are a handful of enemies here with guns, something that doesn't make a lot of sense. From what we heard on the call, Michael was solo on his rampage. Moving on to the second floor of the building, in one of the rooms we find an insane server farm, with wires sprawled everywhere and sparks flying. The wires lead outside to a power line that the server is siphoning off of. Moving into one of the rooms, we can find this lady who... Hold on. Is that Michael's mom? I thought he killed her. Forget it. Upon entering the streamer's apartment, we're met with enemy... anime. So much. This guy is the actual Goonmeister. Upon arresting, or not arresting, Michael, we can find his streaming setup, which he happens to be live on.
Oh, he's the
we can see
streamer.
ourselves in the camera, which I think is sweet, and chat is doing their normal chat thing. Also, I just have to mention this. After the mission, you can find a piece of evidence in the station that was apparently taken from the apartment because it had sources of DNA on it. I mean, come on.
A Pikmin?
Wait. On a less lighthearted note, we find something really bad in this guy's apartment. Although it's nothing surprising, given everything we know about this scumbag, we find illegal photos of minors. On his computer, we discover a Discord chat between Michael and Kawaii Floof, where they discuss some not-so-great things and mention the Mindjop private server, which will be important later. Speaking of Discord, join mine, where we don't talk about this sort of thing. In his brother DeMarcus's room, you can find a fursuit head, implying that his brother is a furry. Pretty innocent compared to Michael's hobbies. On a TV, we can find a music video for 808 Sueños, a song made by Andre Williams, who is a character that we prior had arrested at the gas station.
What about his mom?
Oh yeah, huh. His mom was alive. How did that happen? He clearly stated on the phone call that he killed her. Well, he didn't actually make the phone call. Given that he's a streamer, I think it's pretty obvious what happened. Michael got swatted by one of his viewers. His loving fan base had someone who called in and made a fake 911 call, but...
Oh my gosh! Oh, wow. That's I was under the impression this entire time still. Huh. That's crazy. I didn't even think about that.
If all of this was fake, then why did Michael shoot at us, and who were his armed assailants? Well, that's where the server farm comes into play. See, Michael, in his infinite wisdom, decided to hire armed security for his illegal server farm, who, in their infinite wisdom, decided to open fire on the police, which is insane.
Smart.
Commander, he's talking.
What? Where did the accent come from? Remember Andre Williams, the genius behind 808 Sueños? And the same fellow who we arrested at the gas station? Apparently, he was planning to use the money from the robbery to purchase meth from a house in 213 Park. This intel leads us to one of my favorite levels in the game, Twisted Nerve. The very first thing we see upon loading in is heaps of trash bags. This is a callback to the first level where we see a newspaper detailing a trash buildup in 213 Park as a result of garbage worker strikes. In the trash, we can find more posters hating on DeBanco. This is our first mission in the night, and we finally get the opportunity to check out this game's beautiful night vision mechanics. We have the option between quad nods or binos, and also the option between green phosphor and white. I think the choice is obvious. Moving into the house, oh shit! These meth heads are not playing around. Luckily, neither are we. One of the challenges of this map is deciphering civilians and suspects. Oh, I haven't even talked about civilians. Civilians are something that is a defining factor between most other games and Ready or Not. Ground Branch is a great example of a realistic shooter. It's a military game where, similar to Ready or Not, you're sent into missions to deal with terroristic threats. However, aside from Ground Branch's horrendous AI, the big difference between these games is that in Ground Branch, when you see someone, you shoot them immediately, just like in every other shooter game. There's no discretion necessary. Sure, some games punish you with friendly fire mechanics, but usually the people you aren't supposed to shoot have bright colored name tags to let you know. Usually.
Did I just kill you?
In Ready or Not, if you shoot, you better be darn sure you're supposed to. If you shoot a civilian, aside from feeling like an idiot, the game will revoke points from your score and make you feel like an idiot.
You're professionals. Start acting like it. This is a delicate situation. Entry team, stop firing. Watch it.
But it's not just civilians you need to worry about. Sometimes you'll see someone with a gun, but if they aren't pointing it at you, you're still able to attempt an arrest, which is a vital aspect of the game. You get more points if you don't have to shoot someone, and sometimes you'll lose points when you shoot someone if you don't need to. Often, if a criminal isn't actively pointing their gun at you, you can still talk them into dropping it. Talk.
No, you don't understand. Put your hands up and talk.
If you slip up and shoot someone you're not supposed to, you'll lose points. If you do pretty much anything you shouldn't, you'll lose points, or at the very least, get yelled at by Talk. But back to Twisted Nerve. In this particular map, the difference between friend and foe is foggy. Not only does everyone you meet look like a meth addict, because they are, but you're also operating in the dark. It's not as easy to make things out under grainy night vision, which proves to be a difficult challenge. Something interesting that you probably already noticed is the state of this map. This house is beyond the common crack house. In addition to the peeling wallpaper and this weird painting, so creepy. In addition to these things, there are insane things going on here. For example, this bathroom. I know what happened here. What I don't know is how. How does this happen? Also, in unfortunate news, the TV is broken.
Oh, no, not the TV.
More creepy artwork, and we've made it upstairs. In one of the rooms, we can find more scary drawings. When will it end? One of the drawings depicts a sort of bug creature, and the other drawings depict a tunnel, with one of them saying to follow the insect. In the same room, we can find shovels, and some wall ramblings saying where drain is, dig. Then we can find something that is one of my first signs this game was gonna be great. When I first played Ready or Not, one of my first levels I played was Twisted Nerve. Everything was going fine and dandy until I discovered something very heart-wrenching. Moving into this room, we can find a radio playing a lullaby, and near it, a bed with a used needle and a young girl who's having an overdose. This is one of the examples of what makes Ready or Not great, because as much as the game holds you to a high standard, there are some things that are out of your control. Because of how precise and ethical Ready or Not's gameplay tries to be, you feel the inclination to do something here, except you can't. You can report it, but that's it. You need to continue with your mission. On the wall in the room, we can find the name of the girl on the bed, Molly. And despite the still crumbling structure of the room, you can tell there was a clear effort to separate this room from the others in the house. It's about the only room in the map where we don't need our night vision. On the floor in the room, we can find an artwork the girl made of a dinosaur doing heroin. Hell yeah. On the same floor, we can find a whiteboard detailing profits from the meth operation, and goodness gracious, why am I still doing YouTube? We can also find the motherlode of meth baggies. In an adjacent house, we find the ultimate meth setup. Meth cook stations are set up everywhere, and chemicals are piled all over the house. This particular house is covered in a large tarp. In our briefing, we discover the owners of the house left for vacation while the house was being fumigated. For some reason, the family never returned, and the addicts broke in and started squatting. I think we all know what this is a reference to.
Just say we need to cook.
I'm surprised it took me that long to make a Breaking Bad reference. This map ain't done yet, though. Moving behind the houses, we can find something terrifying. And I bet you're expecting the usual terrifying thing this game has. I bet you're expecting some really sad or gruesome scene. No, it's actually terrifying this time. The meth heads dug a series of underground tunnels, as you could have assumed from the creepy drawings earlier. Going through this section is actually pantaloon poopy territory. While it's never overtly stated what they were digging for, it's implied that the Los Locos gang is the leader of this operation, and that they are fueling the meth addicts in order for them to dig into the Los Sueños sewer system to create a network for their drugs. More infinite wisdom. In the words of a very wise man, they really methed up. I think it's a good time to talk about the amazing soundtrack of Ready or Not.
Or we can watch an ad.
The composer, Zach Bauer, did an amazing job of capturing the aura of this game. At moments in the soundtrack, the music will speed up, with fast, heavy drum hits bombarding the track, but at other times, the music will calm to a slow, somber note, a single violin playing a remorseful tune. This does an amazing job of highlighting the constantly changing atmosphere of Ready or Not. At moments, things will become hectic and violent, right before the smoke clears and you witness the people you've killed. I am in love with this soundtrack. Romantically. Okay? Ooh, this shirt looks nice. I wonder if I could...
The data came in.
Well, well, well. Turns out the data we found on hard drives about a week ago from that streamer guy is linked to this place, Brixley Talent Time.
Doc 2 entry team. Suspects have taken refuge in the area and are refusing to cooperate.
There's something remarkable about the environmental storytelling of Ready or Not. Many times, the game doesn't outright state something, but instead chooses to heavily imply it through many context clues. In this level, there are many instances of aspects of the environment painting a dark picture. Outside Brixley Talent Time, we can find a very run-down area. That's nothing new, but among the trash we can find protest posters against Senator Fremont because of his veteran funding cut bill. Tents are scattered around the area, serving as a reminder of the poverty Los Sueños is facing, and this is clearly a very poverty-stricken area. Outside of the building, we can see that the place used to be a safe injection clinic. A safe injection clinic being a place used for drug addicts to safely inject their drugs, which is
We learned about that actually
On the
in
wall, we can see
criminology.
photos of kids taped up. Interestingly, these are the same photos that can be found in the...
If people are dead set on overdosing, at least give them a spot to do it where they can still be monitored in case something happens. Let me unpause actually.
Streamer's computer in 23 megabytes per second. There are outfits on mannequins that don't exactly fit in a setting involving kids. Something clearly twisted is going on here. There's a newspaper we can find that calls back to the killed manager in the first level. Then there's this terrifying drawing of a star. Even the literal writing on the walls. Here we see the words, "Think of the money." Could this place be enticing parents to solicit their children with large sums of money? Yeah, that's exactly what's happening. It's not very subtle, but that's almost more scary. Things have gotten so bad in Los Sueños that criminals are hardly covering up their tracks. Crime here feels like a drop in the bucket of shady stuff, and frankly, it is. No matter how bad the game gets, it always gets worse. Upon looking closer at things, we start to see even more grim aspects of this story. Looking closer at this computer, we can see an unnerving conversation between the computer's owner and a mysterious figure by the initials AV. Brixley's Talent Time was intentionally placed in a poor region of Los Sueños in order to prey upon it. Parents would bring their children to the talent agency, hoping to have their child make it big so they can earn money, only to then be enticed by George Brixley with large sums of cash into soliciting their children, or even potentially selling them. Which makes one of your potential first encounters with George Brixley a little more satisfying. Well, I have bad news. There was a shooting at the McCade station and, well, one of our officers didn't make it. Officer Lunk, you will be... Anyways, we have a probable location on the perpetrator of this tragic event. His name is Gerard Scott. He lit a car on fire outside the McCade station and waited until police officers went to investigate before opening fire on them. He fled the scene in an RV, and a witness report of the license plate led us to this place called Sullivan Slope. Scott Gerard is a ghost. The only thing we know about him is that he used to work for the USIA, which is an in-game stand-in for the CIA. Other than that, we know just about nothing. If only Lunk were here. I could use some of his advice right about now.
I'm smelling something fishy here.
It's time to raid this place. Moving toward the house, we can immediately see that this place is messy. Talk radio's in and informs us of traps in the area. I hate these levels. Basically, with these sorts of situations, it's vital that we mirror under every single door we open. Otherwise... In Ready or Not, the layout of the maps isn't always convenient. There's blind spots and dangerous turns that can't simply be avoided. I think that's best highlighted in this level. This level is designed to be a pain to move through. This is done on purpose, but we'll talk more about that later. Moving through the first floor, we can see all sorts of interesting things. One of them being Gerard's production of ricin. Ricin is a chemical poison found in castor beans. You might remember them from Breaking...
Jesse!
Beans. Beans.
Gerard loves this stuff. Outside of the house, we can find tons of castor bean plants. We can find this table full of bottles, which apparently Gerard intended to use as an aerosol weapon. He never got to finish his research, though. Also, this whiteboard is maybe the funniest thing in the entire game. It's perfect, and I need it. It starts to become clear that this level is extremely lore-heavy. We can see Gerard's ramblings all over the wall, similarly to back in Twisted Nerve with the meth addicts. Except this time, it seems to be different. This time, instead of meaningless blabber, here it's clear that Gerard is very intelligent. In addition to his clear ability to engineer things, such as the ricin or the aerosol devices, we can see equations and formulas written among the conspiratorial ramblings. In these ramblings, we get bits and pieces of conspiracy theories such as mass populational surveillance, eyeball slime injection, and the mind control of police/federal agents by a secretive and satanic organization within the upper levels of the government. Weird. We can find a wall diagram detailing a SWAT officer's weak points, highlighting how it's important to shoot at the limbs because everywhere else is armored. No wonder these guys are so good. There's only 3 suspects in the whole cabin, but they are deadly, especially because of the map design. See, Gerard made this cabin the way it is in order to specifically screw with a SWAT team. There's little openings in the wall that the suspects can get through, but we can't because of our gear. There's patterns and things scattered about in a darkly lit room to mess with our target identification, and when caught in fire, there's not much cover to go behind. Across the cabin, we can find a series of audio tapes that Gerard made. Most of them only make sense when looking at the larger picture, but for now, I want to bring some of his insane ramblings to light. Keep in mind here the player character, Judge Beaumont.
Judge will come here. You'll have to. It has to be him. I've seen his training, his methods. I know what kind of man he is. Part of the cycle, just like me. In a never-ending game. I'll show him when he gets here. Show him that he's the same puppet as me. Trapped in the same sick play.
Oh no. Apparently, Gerard intended to bring us here. He only attacked the McCade station in order to bring a SWAT team to his home, specifically D Platoon, the team that Judge leads.
It was all a setup.
What in the world? Forget it. We were brought here because Gerard wanted to teach us some sort of truth, even mentioning that Judge is part of the same cycle Gerard is.
Ad, maybe? No.
You know, I would consider no other perpetrator than Yamalo.
Yeah, 150! Wow. All right, I'm honestly, I think I'm done. Maybe. I don't know. Oh, wait, is this the...
Terrifying. Imagine the very people sent to protect you being the same people that want to hurt you. Group based in Yemen calling themselves in...
I skipped the one
which
part.
might be inside. But even more haunting is what you hear upon shutting the music off.
Dang. Let's see here, 7:22. If I do 2 hours tomorrow, okay. I should. Let's see here. I have 2 guaranteed dog rounds still. Yeah, I'll be able to hit infinite, or not infinite, I wish, insta-kill rounds by tomorrow morning. Oh, I'm about 1.4% of the way done with the game. Alright, that's it. I'm going to bed. I'm giving up. I'm sleeping. Oh, it was good talking to you. I will see you later. Seneca? Is that what it is? I think that's what it is. It's good enough. Good enough for me, at least. All right. Bye-bye. Good night. Or at least for you, it's like good morning. So, see you later.